Hello, good morning. So here we go for another Uncut English video lesson. So today I decided to explore a different route. Here in our program. I was working with a student last night, and it was really interesting because I had a moment with him, and it wasn't the first time that this has happened to me, and then I said to him, man, let me explain something to you, because he had a doubt about something very basic, something very simple. Even though his English is at a good level. We communicate in English only. I don't need to, I never teach anything in Portuguese, but I can explain everything to him in English, and he understands. So it was an interesting class. But I asked something very basic, and this very basic question involved the verb to want. W-A-N-T. I want something. Okay. So for those of you listening to this channel here and following us, you might be thinking, oh my God, this is not for me. Okay, now Alfredo is going to talk about something very basic. But bear with me, because it's not as basic as you think. And I don't know why. Maybe, later on when I post this video, I would like you to, contribute, leave a comment in the comment section if you have an opinion about this topic that I'm discussing today, about this verb, the verb to want. So basically it was like this. There was a scene, okay, from a TV series, and there was a character, a woman, and she was helping her husband. She was supposed to do something for her husband, so she traveled to New York, and there in New York she was there to do something for him. Basic stuff. It's not important the context, exactly what she was doing there for her husband. But the interesting thing is that at some point I asked my student a simple question, and the question was this: did she want to do that? Whatever she was doing there in New York, suppose she was, buying an apartment, if you will. But I wanted to know if my student understood if that was something that she wanted to do, or if it was something that she was doing against her will. In other words, she didn't want to do that. So I asked him, did she want to do that? And then he went like, oh no, she didn't do that. And I repeated the question. I said, okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you again. Did she want to do that? For instance, we're talking about buying an apartment. Did she want to buy the apartment? And then he gave me another answer. And again, the answer was not compatible with the question. And I thought, that's really weird. Because I was surprised that he was missing the question. But then I realized that I don't know why. I cannot explain why. Many times actually I had situations with the students in which the students were confusing the verb to want, to desire, to want something. For example, I want to have a house on the beach. I don't have one, but I want. So you express a wish, a desire, something that you would like to have. So to want means to the same thing as, I would like to have that. So it means I want that. And it's a basic verb because it's one of those key verbs in every language. Because think about this. I think that selfishness is intrinsic to human beings in a way. I think that we're always talking about what we want. We're always talking about what we need. We're always talking about what we would like. So these are central verbs, They carry very important messages. They have very special meaning. And we teach them in every course very early, actually. But I don't know why. There's something about the verb to want that confuses students. And I remember once a student of mine, actually several students of mine, have already confused want with went, which is the past of the verb to go. W-E-N-T. I went to the party last night. And then I thought, okay, so maybe I should make a video about that. And so connecting with this idea, with the fact that for some reason, and then of course, this is something that applies mainly to students at their in their early stages of the course. I don't expect a student at a more pre-intermediate level to have this kind of problem. But it's funny because for some time, it seems like they struggle with this. So for instance, with this student last night, I said to him, look, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bombard you with questions from now on using the verb to want. So for instance, we might be in the middle of a class and I might stop and say, look, this last thing which I have just explained to you, do you want me to repeat the explanation? Do you want me to carry on, or do you want me to go back and repeat it again? In other words, you see, I'm going to make a habit of using this verb again and again at every key moment in the lesson. So I told him that we are going to do that, and we're going to really brainwash with this to the point that he will say to me, okay, Alfredo, that's enough. I don't need this anymore. I really got it. I don't think I'll ever forget this verb. But then I thought about another idea for this conversation here, for this video class here in the car. Because you see, the verb to want, I also think it's very interesting, especially for us Brazilians, because when I give this lesson, when I explain this to my students, and this thing that I'm going to talk about has a direct impact on your fluency. It's because the verb to want has got three main structures, or three main uses for it. Number one, which is the simplest one, is when you express a wish about something that you would like to have at that moment. So for instance, it's very hot right now and I want to have an ice cream. So I want an ice cream. This is something that I want. Right now, I want this. I want an ice cream. Okay. This is number one. Number two is when the object of your desire is in fact an action. You want to do something. For example, today is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful, hot, very hot, sunny day. And I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. Okay, so the complement in this case, it's a verb, because sometimes you want to do something. So these are the two most basic ones. You want something. Second, you want to do something. But then there's the third one, okay? And this is where Brazilians have trouble with. The third type. And what is that all about? Well, it's when we want to use the verb to want to talk about things that we want to happen, but we don't want to take action ourselves. We don't want to do whatever we want to happen. We want them to happen, but we don't want to act. We don't want to work, if you will. So for instance, suppose my car is dirty and I would like my car to be clean. I want my car to be clean, but I don't want to, I have a lot of things to do. I have to work. But let's say my brother's not doing anything in the afternoon, and then I could come to him and say, hey, brother, I want you to wash my car for me. So I want you to wash my car for me. And then the thing about this structure is that all you have to understand is that it is composed of two elements. Now, the first element is the person, the one who's going to do the action. In this case, my brother. So I want my brother. And then the action itself is described by us, simply using the infinitive form of the verb. So in this case, it's to wash my car. So I want my brother to wash my car. And that's it. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to share this with you. I have taught this lesson in my course, my God, thousands of times. And every now and again, I get a student who struggles with the verb to want. And so, because it's fresh in my mind, it happened last night, I thought, well, you know what? Let me make a video about that. I hope you found it useful. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Anything you want to say. Remember, this is Uncut English. This special series, which I post every day without any kind of editing. My name is Alfredo. See you in our next video lesson. Bye for now.